No mai haere mai. It's the Huddy Hui. Find Huddy Sports on Instagram and Facebook. huddysports.co.nz. Now let's kōrero.
Kia ora, good evening, and welcome to the Huddy Hui, episode 156. The club season has come to an end, and Hutt Old Boys were crowned the Jubilee Cup champions for 2025, beating Tawa at Korbeti Park last Saturday. Rugby is not over yet. We've still got first 15 rugby action on, and also we have a lot more other stuff that we'll talk about at the end of the Huddy Hui. We also will play you the highlights from last Saturday's Jubilee Cup final. But joining us today in the Huddy Hui is the witty captain of the Hutt Old Boys Marist Eagles, Waylon Tuhoro-Robinson. Waylon, congratulations on winning the Jubilee Cup. How were the celebrations and when did they finish?
No, thanks. Thanks for having me on. No, it's good. Celebrations are still kicking on since Saturday. So, the boys are actually meeting up tonight. So that'll be me heading there afterwards with this fella. So
there it is, the Jubilee
the boys
Cup.
will be looking forward to it. So, celebrations still going hard, bro. So, like I said on Saturday, been a few years in the making. So, the boys are definitely enjoying it.
So you'll be given the guardianship of the Jubilee Cup, have you?
Yeah, well, it's actually done a few rounds since we won it on Saturday. So I managed to steal it last night. So yeah, happy to have it here tonight.
Oh, fantastic! So let's talk about the win. It was Hutt Old Boys Marist's first Jubilee Cup win since 2014. How important was it, not just for the team but the club as well?
No, it was pretty big. There's a lot that goes into club rugby. Sponsors, volunteers. None of us are paid, to be here. So, to be able to, go one better than last year. I think, we came pretty close last year. We fell short in the semi, and we've had a pretty similar group for the last couple of years now. So, it was pretty special for us as a team, but as a club as well. So, it was pretty humbling going back to the club rooms on Saturday night, and we had a pretty big turnout. So, it was pretty cool.
What were the keys to victory over Tawa on Saturday? Two big forward packs going against each other.
I think we knew it was going to be a battle up front. Tawa's traditionally always had a really good forward pack, and they've been a team that I guess they're always there competing at the back end of the year. So we knew it was going to be one up front, and we knew that if our forwards could do their job and give us back some clean ball, then we had a bit of speed out wide with Fallon and guys like Fritz on the wing as well. So I think it was definitely a game one up front, but I think our backs were able to probably put out our best game of the year. Probably when it mattered most.
The weekend before, you picked up a facial injury. What happened, and how did you protect yourself in the final? Might in the last minute of the semi against Plym. Ended up breaking my nose. Went in to try hold up in fact it was Lenny Apisai, I think it was his try. I went in to try hold him up and ended up copping his head straight into my nose. So cracked my nose right down the middle and kicks off to one side. So was in a bit of doubt for the final, but I guess happened to sort of just go out there and try my best to avoid contact like I've been doing all year, to be honest. So I actually had a mask specially made for the final, but I decided before the game to not wear it. It was just putting me off. So I regret it now because I took a few knocks in the game and ended up putting some things up my nose to sort of stop it from bleeding in the second half. But she's still a bit sore, but actually go in and see a specialist tomorrow to sort of know if I need surgery or not. So fingers crossed I don't. Was the mask similar to Anton Dupont's, or was it like a Hannibal Lecter mask?
It looked like a horror movie mask, to be honest. It wasn't the prettiest thing. It would have looked pretty ugly if I did wear it. But it was just a late call before the game. I decided not to wear it. So I think in the end it probably worked. But probably doesn't help. I got a big nose anyway, so it doesn't look too bad. But
definitely still pretty sore.
Of course, you played Tawa earlier in the season, round 7 out at Lyndhurst Park, winning 27-17 that day. What were the learnings from that game that you took into preparing for the final against them?
I think, like I said before, they've always had a pretty big pack, and they got some really experienced backs with guys like Nigel and Farimo and James, and I think that Tawa, that game we played earlier in the year against Tawa out there is probably one of our better games this year. But I think heading into that final, we didn't have Keenan, or because he's up in Hawke's Bay, and we also didn't have Nui, so it was a bit of a different look team that we had. That we played against them in the final than we did earlier in the year. But I think we sort of knew that it was going to be a game that was going to be one up front if we could go to work on their big forward pack, and our forwards could give us clean ball, then hopefully we open up opportunities for our backs. And we're lucky enough on Saturday that I think we did that.
In the final, when was the moment you knew that the Eagles were going to win?
I'd like to say Dom's try. I think it was probably like 13 minutes to go, I think, when he scored. I was pretty confident then, but then, typical Tawa side. They don't stop playing until the 80th minute, and they kept coming and coming at us, and they got that late intercept, and then James hit that drop goal. I think they brought it within 7. I think we're still a bit of nerves within the boys, but I think we were sort of on. I'd like to say we were ahead most of the game, and sort of felt like we were probably playing better than them, but that Tawa side, they sort of had that never die attitude, and they kept coming. So and then we're probably lucky that ended up getting them. Their last 10 minutes, they were definitely throwing the ball around and starting to look pretty dangerous. So
Being the goal kicker this season, and you were for the final, have you always been a goal kicker, and what is your kicking style based on?
No, I haven't goal kicked probably since under 12s, under 11s. I think we're pretty up since I've been at Hutt Old Boys. I've been pretty lucky to have some really good goal kickers. Brandon Lawson has been there the majority of my time there, so never really needed anyone else to goal kick. And then this year, we didn't have a goal kicker, and it was actually our backs coach, Stars McGregor, who actually just sort of put the pressure on me to sort of go out there and do it. And was just lucky enough that I guess found some confidence pretty early, and sort of just stuck out throughout the year. I wouldn't sort of put it down to anyone in particular that I sort of copy. I'd say one goal kicker I probably like would probably be Owen Farrell. Probably my one goal kicker that I actually enjoy watching. So I'd probably say him, I guess.
Harry Press played a blinder in the final and was awarded the Jim Brown Player of the Final. Describe his performance.
Yeah, he was massive. I think he's had a pretty unlucky year with injury. He's had a few niggles that he's carried throughout the year, and I think I was really happy for him to be able to go out there and play the way he did. He's an absolute workhorse, and has been one of the best hookers on the comp for the last 2 years now. So. He's definitely one of those guys that will play professional footy, and I think he definitely showed that on Saturday. So fingers crossed he gets a crack at higher honours this year. And like I said, just really happy for him and how Saturday went.
How was the build up to the final? Did you and the team change anything before the game in terms of what you do in the morning?
No, I think it was a pretty normal build up to the game for the team. I think we got a really good coaching group that didn't really try to change anything. There was just, I think, the cliche ones. It was just another game for us, and I guess, to be honest, we're probably a lot more comfortable going into that final than we were in the semi. I think, like I said before, we've had a pretty bad run with semi-finals over the last couple of years, and I think there was definitely those nerves going into last week about if we could get it done. And I think we sort of got that semi-final monkey off our back last week, and being able to come into the final, we sort of knew we had nothing to lose. Tawa's been there before, and I think by many people were saying they were the favourites. So we knew we had nothing to lose going into that game. So didn't change anything. Prepped well on Tuesday and Thursday, and then went out there on Saturday and just backed our process, backed our game, and we're lucky enough to get it done.
New head coach this year in Otto Rash. What has he brought and changed to the program at the Premier team?
Yeah, Otto's been he's been massive for us. He's been involved with the club for a while now, as a player, and then also coaching. I think he's helping out with the Colts a few times over the last couple of years. But yeah, he's been good. Been able to come in and just bring his experience and bring his passion and I guess a new bit of energy that we needed. He was awesome this year. I think he had a really good coaching group around him with Blake McGregor and Aidan Keynes and also Kent Harris, our RDO. I feel like they all of them brought something different to the team, and like I said, he was someone that we were all ready to go out there and put our bodies on the line for. He believed in us, and we believed in him. So lucky enough we were able to go out there on Saturday and do something pretty special.
There's some young talent coming through the team. In particular, last year, the Hutt Colts went undefeated in 2024. Who are some of those players that have made the step up to the Premier team this year?
Dom Ernest and Fallon Rona, they're the two that made the step up from Colts. I think it's good, you see most kids that, sort of come through the Colts grade, especially at our club. Some tend to go to other clubs or, try to, push for opportunities elsewhere if they're not making the team. And those two, stuck at Colts for a few years and then finally got an opportunity this year and they were awesome. Both of them were regular starters from week one all the way through to the final. And, they brought something different to our team, a new bit of energy. I think, we've had a very similar team for the last couple of years and been able to have new boys like that come in, and just bring what they bring. They were awesome. So I guess for them, they won the Colts grade last year and then able to come up and win a Jubilee Cup in their first year. So I think those two especially were saying on Saturday they thought it was pretty easy. So hopefully they're there next year and we can, hopefully have them back next year.
The Swindale Shield was an interesting one. The team finished in the top four, but you had losses to Johnsonville, Parramatta, Plymouton, Oriental, Rongotai, and Upper Hutt. What did the team learn about those games that helped you prepare for the later half of the season?
That's a good question, bro. I think we learned a lot from all our losses. I think we probably weren't the easiest team to follow this year, but I feel like, like I said, I think we learned something from all of those losses. I think especially early on that Johnsonville game, I think we got down to about 12 players at one point. Probably learned a lot about ourselves when it comes to our discipline. And then we our first game at home took a tough loss to Plym, and they put a lot of points on us, and I think we probably learnt that game sort of how to play to the conditions, and sort of how we have to adapt with our game style and our game plan, and then the Auries loss, I think there was another one where probably just learning how to win big moments in the game and control our emotion, and then the Rams one as well. I think we probably were on a bit of a roll before that Rams loss, and I think that loss probably couldn't have came at a better time. I think we were probably getting ahead of ourselves, and I think classic Hutt Old Boys fashion, we start to sort of find our groove towards the back end of the year and start to get our confidence up. And I think that loss sort of showed us sort of what we needed to be better at if we really wanted to compete and win that comp. And we're probably lucky that the week after we had McBain Shield and we had a good chance to bounce back. And I guess after that Rams loss, I think we sort of ended up winning McBain and then going on that run in Jubilee Cup. So I think, to answer your question, bro, I think we learned a lot from those 4 losses, and I think we probably don't lose those 4 games. I don't think we probably go on to win it all, though. So,
Speaking of which, that round 10 game against Pōnihi, who in themselves had only just beaten Batoni, was that a major turning point for the season, considering you put 40 points on them in the first half?
Sorry, what was that, bro? I think you might have...
Oh, you just dropped... Did I drop out then? Sorry, my bad. The round 10 game against Pōnihi, was that a major turning point for the season?
Yeah, that was massive, bro. I think at that point they were probably second on the table in the Swindale Shield at that point when we went out there to play them. So I think, they had a lot of confidence playing against us, and rightly so. They've been playing some good rugby this year, Puniki. So we went out there and were able to, probably, I think, put out our best performance of the year that day. Our forwards were awesome up front, and they really got stuck into their forward pack, and then our back sort of were able to play off the back of that. And I think like I said before, we probably had a lot of confidence after that game heading into the back end of the Swindale Shield and heading into Jubilee. So that game was massive for our confidence.
McBain Shield, you mentioned, right at the end of the Swindale Shield. What was it like to finally win the McBain Shield after 3 years of Petone dominating it?
No, it was good. It's always probably the biggest game on the calendar for our club, or for both clubs, and it's been a wee while since we've won the McBain. It was actually my first time ever winning it since I've been at the club. 2020 we lost. 21 we won it, but I was suspended. Didn't get to play that game, and then 22 was the drop kick. So that was a tough one. And then 23 and 24 we just we weren't as good as them. So to be able to get it done this year was pretty cool, and especially with the way the game went. It was a pretty back and forth game, and that's a really good Petone side that we beat. So we took a lot of confidence out of that, and it was definitely a pretty cool night at the club rooms that night when we won.
Of course, you've been the captain for the last 2 years. How have you found the captaincy, and how has it helped your game?
To be honest, bro, last year when I was first named captain, I probably didn't expect it. We got a lot of experience within our side. Jordan Gillies, Brandon Lawson last year as well. We definitely didn't expect it, but I think it took some time to sort of grow into it, and sort of find my way of being captain. I didn't want to change the way I played or change the way I went about myself. So definitely took some time to learn, and I think coming into this year and after last year, I think I definitely felt a lot more comfortable in my skin doing the role, and being able to have guys around me this year like Jordan Gillies and Lisa Saloa, Bento Monofili. Being able to have guys like that around me definitely made my job a lot easier, and having those natural leaders and experienced guys around me. So I definitely love the job of being captain of the club, and definitely something I don't take lightly, and it's something that I've been really lucky enough to do the last 2 years.
You made your Eagles debut in 2020. Who was it against, and what was the result?
2020 was the COVID year. We played Auries out at Polo Grounds. I think we might have just won. Brandon Lawson drop goal, I think it was. I threw him a pass up in the sky, and he managed to catch it and bring it down and slot a drop kick that got us the win. So 2020 out at the Polo Grounds.
You've also played rugby for Avalon as well. I think you were there for 2 years. How was your time there?
Yep, I did my first 2 years out of school down at Avalon. I look back now, I'm pretty grateful those guys down there gave me an opportunity to play Prem rugby, probably when most clubs wouldn't have. And I'm still pretty close to some of the guys down there. They got a good bunch of fellas that are involved with their club, and like I said, I'm really lucky that they gave me an opportunity. And I guess in the end, I left to go to Hutt Old Boys for a better opportunity, and so I pushed myself on my footy. But I think I definitely enjoyed my time down there. When I was down there, we have got some good wins, and some good memories down there. But like I said, it's got a lot of time for the people down there.
Where did your junior rugby begin for you?
I played at Upper Hutt Rugby Club before they joined with Ramataka to make the Rams. Upper Hutt Rugby Club down was my junior club.
You attended St. Pat's Silverstream. How was your time there?
I loved it. Enjoyed my time there. Enjoyed my footy there. Had a pretty good first 15 my time there. Had a really good team. A lot of boys sort of come out of that first 15 and went on to kick on and play a bit of NPC. Also a lot of Premier Rugby players as well. So still close with a lot of them, and really enjoyed my time at Stream.
How many games did you play for the first 15, and have you been keeping up to date with this year's team?
I played a handful when I was year 12, and then played all of my last year there. So couldn't give you a number, but yeah, I had 2 years in the first 15, but don't really keep up with it too much nowadays. Or see it on social media and stuff, but I see they're still kicking on and winning a lot of games, and I see that young first five Fletcher Cooper's been playing really well as well, and he looks the good. So I'll be following them closely as they head into finals though.
Exactly, they're going pretty well. Speaking of which, what was your best moment playing rugby at Silverstream?
We're pretty hard to go past winning the final against Wellington College, but I'd probably say winning Grand Slam. It hadn't been done in 30 years, so Grand Slams 6-on-6 traditionals hadn't been done in 30 years until my team did it. So I'd probably say that would probably be my highlight.
This year, you've also been selected in the Wellington Maori team. How important is making that team for you?
Now it's pretty cool. I was lucky enough to do it last year for the first time. I played in the Māoris national tournament that was at the NZCIS. It was a 2-day tournament, so I came into the side pretty late, but you played those 2 games there and really enjoyed it. The environment, the culture, it's definitely pretty cool, and I think it's a pretty cool environment and mix to be a part of. So I probably won't be a part of that team this year with how the nose is, but I wish them all the best, and hopefully in the future I get another opportunity to have a jam.
Where else is rugby taking you in your career to date?
I was lucky enough to do Wellington 19s when I was at Avalon. But besides that, probably not much else. Hopefully a bit more in the future. Hopefully I can get the nose right and can sort of see what happens next year. But I think probably my highlight would probably be Wellington 19s and probably the success we had this year with Hutt Old Boys.
This season, you also played half, first 5 as well at the start of the season. What was that?
I think wasn't what I expected to play first 5. I haven't played first 5 before, so sort of got thrown in the deep end by our backs coach, Stars McGregor, to sort of go out there and do a job. Brandon Lawson, didn't come back to the side this year, so we were a bit low on 10 stocks, and Joseph Pinfold, who came off the bench on Saturday for us in the Jubilee Cup final, was playing some really good rugby at the start of the year and had a really good preseason as well. So he went to start at 9, and I think they sort of just put me in at 10, and was sort of lucky that I had the best forward pack in Wellington in front of me, that I just had to just pass the ball and kick, and then also having Nui come in as well was probably didn't help as well, that he sort of kept me at 10 for a bit there as well. So I enjoyed it. It was definitely a change. I think you see the game a lot different as a first 5, and I think it makes you appreciate having a good team when you are a halfback. So it was definitely pretty cool and a bit of a change playing team this year.
What is the one game you have played where you've learnt the most about yourself as a player?
I'd say probably the semi-final loss last year to OBU. I think as a halfback, game management sort of has to be your bread and butter. And I think I look back at that game last year, and it was a tough one to get over. Even though it was a good OBU side that we lost to, I think probably with 15 minutes to go, we probably should have been able to get it done, especially with the team we had. So I think probably for me it was just being able to learn how to manage a game and be better. Get your team in the right areas of the field and being able to win big moments. I think that's probably the one game that I learned a lot about myself, and coming into this year was probably a game that sort of motivated me to sort of be better when it came to my game management and hopefully kick on
be lucky enough to, like I said, earlier win the semi-final and then go on to win a final. So I think that's one game that sort of stung me over the summer and over the pre-season, and yeah, took a lot away from that game.
Who's been the biggest influences in your rugby journey?
Ooh. I think family member. I'd probably say my granddad. He's sort of come to all my games as a youngster, and then comes to all my club rugby games as well as I got older. And it doesn't matter if it's raining or it's sunny, or it doesn't matter if we're at the Hutt Rec or all the way out at the polo grounds. He always turns up to watch me play. So I'd probably say my granddad, and then probably footy-wise, involved with the club, I'd probably say Brandon Lawson is someone who sort of took me under his wing when I first got to the club. And I guess as a first five halfback, I was lucky enough to play a lot of games alongside him in the driver's seat. So he was someone that took me under his wing and taught me a lot. So I'd probably say Brandon.
What other goals do you still want to achieve with your rugby career?
Another Jubilee would be nice. Hopefully next year we can go back to rec. But yeah, would love to kick on and hopefully play NPC one day. Who knows? I think if it's here or elsewhere, I just want to hopefully find some good form next year and see what happens. Hopefully play NPC one day. Fingers crossed.
What do you do outside of rugby?
I'm a builder. So I work for Straightforward Building Solutions. Otto Rash is actually my boss. So my boss and my head coach. So I see him 6 days a week. We've got a good little crew. There's a few boys that play for the Colts and for the Prem Reserves, and Fritz Rouse, he also works alongside me as well. So I'm a builder, but then also a young dad as well. I've got two little boys. So now that the season's over and my nose is no good, I probably can catch up with some quality time with them. The rugby season's pretty long. It starts in January and ends in end of July. So it's a lot of time that you spend away on a Tuesday, Thursday from your kids and your partner. Partner picks up a lot of the load at home. So now that footy's over, hopefully I can spend some quality time with them. And
Of course, you mentioned spending a bit more time with family and getting your nose sorted out. Any other plans for the off season?
No plans for the off season, bro. Hopefully can just get my nose right. It's pretty bad at the moment. It's I can't really breathe out of it. It's after Saturday, so get the nose right and then get the body right, and hopefully come back next year. Ready to go.
Well, Waylon, it's been fantastic having you on the Hui. You've gone down in history as one of the winning Jubilee Cup captains. So well done. And there's the Jubilee Cup again, folks. Brendan's about to take it out with him after this Hui, aren't you? Off to, I think, might be your final celebration, is it?
We'll see.
Yes.
Maybe till Sunday.
All good, mate. Waylon, many thanks for coming on the Hui. All the best, and we'll see you next season.
Cheers, bro. Thanks for having me on.
That is Waylon Tuhoro-Robinson, the captain of the winning Hutt Old Boys Marist team. And they have gone down in history. Their first Jubilee Cup since 2014. Of course, they previously also won it as well, 2007. It was played at what was then called Westpac Stadium, now Sky Stadium. So here in Huddy Sports, we're not finished yet. We've still got a few more events on. So let's have a look at what we got on this weekend. Well, there's two first 15 finals. One of these we are doing. First one is St. Patrick's College Silverstream versus Rathkill. That kicks off at 1 o'clock. And the game that we'll be covering is St. Patrick's College Wellington versus Wellington College at 2:30. That will be live on Huddy Sports, starting our coverage at 2:15 p.m. That previously was at Wellington College, but Wellington College, for some reason, were deducted points. And so a change of venue directly across the other side of Mount Victoria, Evans Bay. And the winner of that goes to the final, including Silverstream and Rathkill. And speaking about college finals, next Wednesday, 6th of August, we'll be bringing you the College Sport Wellington Girls Under-18 finals. And also on August the 10th, Sunday, August the 10th, the College Sport Wellington First 15 Premiership Final will be live on Huddy Sports Free for all to you to watch. Coming up, well, tomorrow night, we've got the College Sport Wellington P3 Hockey Boys Semi-Final between St Bernard's College and Whitby Collegiate out at Fraser Park. It kicks off at 5:10 and our coverage starts at 4:55 p.m. Hopefully I'll be out there if my ankle gets better since I rolled it the other day. And also coming up as well, we had a late phone call. Keep an eye out for this, folks, is that we're probably going to be bringing you potentially the Wellington Rugby League finals this Saturday. So that's a work in progress, but that's the case. It'll be live and free for all of you to watch on Huddy Sports YouTube. They'll be coming from the Hutt Rec as well. As Huddy Sports, we always like to thank our sponsors, Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drain Laying Limited. As mentioned, his son Joe was in the winning team for Hutt Old Boys Marist in the weekend for the Jubilee Cup. Also to Louise Reddy of New Zealand Travel Brokers, Gavin Murphy at the team at Jen Hickton Funeral Directors, and Nathan Williams and co. from EG Fresh Range Eggs. They are sponsors that help keep what we do here on Huddy Sports free for all of you to watch. And if you're willing to help out Huddy Sports, head over to our website, huddysports.co.nz, or go to our email address, huddysportsnz@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. And it's always there, you know, help us. It helps us help sponsor Huddy Sports. It keeps us free for all to watch and what we do, which is really important. Also, speaking of which, the NPC kicks off this weekend. Of course, Auckland Waikato kick off the NPC Thursday night, tomorrow night. But Wellington play against their old rivals, Canterbury. Since 1789, these two have been battling each other. Wellington Lions versus Canterbury from Porirua Park, effectively known as Jerry Collins Stadium. That kicks off at 2:05 p.m. And then next week, of course, the Wellington Pride kick off their campaign in the Farapama Cup Championship, and they're away to Tasman on August the 9th next week. So Wellington Pride and the Wellington Lions kicking off their season for the Lions this week, and the Pride next week as well. So, of course, club rugby all done and dusted in the capital city. I would like to thank Wellington Rugby for allowing us to stream the Wellington Rugby finals. Yet again, it's always great working with Wellington Rugby. We'll finish tonight's Hui by looking at the highlights of the Jubilee Cup final for 2025. So that is the Huddy Hui for tonight. We'll be back next week for episode 157. I'm Brad Hudson. Ciao for now. Burnie Park for the 2025 Wellington Rugby Football Union Jubilee Cup final. This prize trophy was first presented in 1929, honouring the Union's 50th Jubilee. University, they won that, defending the title they won in 1928, but only the most successful club, winning it 22 times with 5 consecutive wins from 1967 to 1971. In 2021, Tawa won their 3rd Jubilee title, but for the big show, the Jubilee Cup is on the line for 2000. We'll take it home. Will it go to Tawa, or will it go back to the Hutt Rec? Tuhoro-Robinson, 126 points. One of the many Silverstream Old Boys playing in this final, but also across all grades here today. Early points on the board for Waylon Tuhoro-Robinson. 5 inside Hutt Old Boys territory, into the Fermanus, out to George Rasali. Fends out of the way, Alefatu. Fed in by Robinson. Pleading for the penalty is Robinson. Oh, look at this Hutt scrum. And they bounce off. They go for the wild offload, but will come back for the penalty. Out to the right-hand side they go. Oh, intercepted! Intercepted here! And the Eagles pounce and extend their lead further. And that is Phelan Rona with the first try.
Phelan Rona, he's making a habit of that. Last week, pulled one out against Parramatta Plymouton and also in that McBain earlier in the year. That couldn't have come at a better time. Tawa were punching away. The Eagles managed to hold tight on D and keep their discipline, and then as soon as Tawa looked to spin it wide, Phelan just pounced on it.
And his debut against Wainui earlier this year. The conversion successful by Tuhoro-Robinson, and so a 10-point margin here early in the Jubilee Cup. Rasali rolls as he sits down, holding the ball like a baby. Dexter, change of direction. Out wide to Ulysses! And Tawa have their first points of the final. Haurua College student. Played last year's Jubilee Cup final as well. And the conversion is successful. So the score now back down to 3. It is 10 points to 7. 22 minutes gone here in the Jubilee Cup final. With Big Ben to Amanafili as they look for the drive, but they can't get it going. And it's been turned over as well. Tawa come up trumps. And it's been banged downtown, much to the relief of the Tawa faithful.
We knew it was going to be close. 3 points is... Oh, and they're just going to kick it out. Go to the half.
Well, that is half-time here at Kilbenny Park, and it is Hutt Old Boys Marist ahead of Tawa 10-7. Referee Matt Thomas blows his whistle as we get the second half underway. And it's been picked up by Tiafula Polo.
Oh.
Here we go, good run, Nonu Tuia. Here's Wilson, out to Dobbins, no one's home. Unfortunately, Fallon Rona was right up the backside of Dom Ernst. And Doms went to past it, and there was no one there. Oh, I haven't beaten Hutt since 2021. That was the last time they beat Hutt. Oh. And that scrum has been immense, and an immense it is for Broughton Winterburn. And the man that Brendan just told us about comes up trump from an early try for the Eagles.
Yeah, he just sliced through, he backed himself, and that's what he's been doing all year, making a habit of that. I think that's his 12th try of the year, as he let me know yesterday. But yeah, he's full of confidence, and that was just the perfect time for the Eagles to strike, get themselves further ahead with the kick to come.
He's battling a nosebleed this morning. So he's put some tissues up his nostrils to deal with the issue. He's kept them in for the game. I think Nuku might have done his knee there, Brendan Lawson.
He doesn't
Here's
look in a good way. Oh.
Tagawai! Break! This is Sapati! Tagawai scores! And the Eagles extend their lead further.
That's a pretty impressive try to see where they came from, right in their own half, on the goal line even, and a breakout from Fritz Ariasi and Kaya Wilson. And then just there's that patience that we were talking about earlier that was required. And then Sapati Tangawai, who's had an awesome year, scores another try.
And yet, another product of St. Pat's Town. Conversion successful by Tuhoro-Robinson. 22 points to 7. Centre field, Hunt. Out to Denya, Jacob Denya. Look at the pace on this kid. Out to Ulysses. Oh, nearly went over for his second try. And the Eagles under pressure. Oh, this could be yellow card territory if Tawa don't score. Then Denya's over. He's got the try. Jacob Denya scores a try in the Jubilee Cup final.
Jacob Denya is probably up there with my man of the match so far this game. He's been electric every time he's touched the ball. And just as soon as Tawa get an opportunity to spin it wide, they execute it beautifully right before they get some boost off the bench here with James Sorialo coming on too.
Solomona Ulisi. Try and a conversion to his name.
He's got it. Okay.
Good kick there. So 22-14. Yeah. Tangawai looks to straighten, gives it back out to Tuhoro-Robinson. 15 outside the 22. Oh, good bust here by Varasi. Still going. Pass out to Dobbins. Ernst cuts through. Dobbins scores a try in the Jubilee Cup final. He runs faster than his greyhound. And that's what Dobbins can do. Punishing try. And the Eagles in front.
I thought I was seeing things here, but I wasn't Fritz Reasi running down, cutting through with one boot on. That's pretty impressive. Changing direction with a sock on, and an outstanding offload to Dom Earns, and an awesome finish, and it puts the Eagles, well, I won't say too early, but could be in a very comfortable position anyway.
Along here with Fallon Rona, who was in that team. The conversion successful that time there by Kaya Wilson. Oh, Winterburn. Oh, picked up by Hunter Sale. Who's going to win the race? Kaya Wilson or Hunter Sale? It's going to be Hunter Sale. They've awarded a try, folks. They're pleading for a knock-on. Let's have a look at our replay. Here's Hunter Sale. The referees have awarded it a try. Ooh, I think he just got there. Only just, though.
Wow, what a time for Tawa to strike. We saw an intercept from the Eagles in the first half. He's taken the... Oh, he's missed it.
Oh, he's missed the kick. Ali. Victor for Manus. Solialo's going to go for a drop kick.
Ooh. They're going for
He's
the win
got
here.
it.
Oh, he's lost.
Oh, it's been lost by Solialo. We look to Matt Thomas. Is that time? It is time! And it is time for Hutt Old Boys Marist. They are your victors for 2025 in the Jubilee Cup final. 29 points to 22. It was a valiant effort by Tawa, but it was the Eagles forwards that came up trumps today, Brandon, that got the job done.
Wow, what a game. Both teams gave it everything. Hutt Old Boys Marist should be extremely proud. They got out to an early lead and they just managed to hold on throughout the whole game. Both teams threw punches. Like we said at the start, it was going to be one up front, and you know there wasn't much in it, but they can hold their heads high now. They're the Jubilee Cup champions.
Congratulations once again to the Eagles. We are
Thank you. Cheers.
It's the Huddy Hui. You can find Huddy Sports on Instagram and Facebook. And check out huddysports.co.nz.
Blocked drains, leaky pipes, don't let plumbing problems sideline your day. Call the team, Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drain Laying Limited. Mike has been our sponsor since the very beginning, from quick fixes to full renovations. He's got the tools, the team, and the know-how to get the job done right. First time, every time. Local, reliable, and always on time. That's how Mike plays the game. Find Mike Pinfold at Pinfold Plumbing at extra.co.nz 027 430 4351. Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drain Laying Limited. Also Google Mike Pinfold Plumbing and let the pros handle the flow.
Hi, Gavin Murphy here
And Cassie Murphy.
from G and Higton Funeral Directors.
Don't leave it up to someone else to tell your story. Do it now when you can enjoy being part of the conversation.
With a prepaid funeral, you can have music, readings and venue all chosen by you.
For your free funeral planning pack with everything you need to get started, go to our website at gianhicton.co.nz/pre-planning.
The Huddy Hui Huddy Sports captivating sports show. The Huddy Hui covers Wellington club rugby as well as other sporting topics of debate. Tune in on YouTube during the rugby playing months as host Brad Hudson interviews rugby players and other sporting personalities across the Wellington region and the rest of New Zealand. Catch the Huddy Hui streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and wherever good yarns are heard. The Huddy Hui live on Huddy Sports. Here at Huddy Sports, we love a good game plan. And when it comes to travel, our go-to is Louise Reddy from New Zealand Travel Brokers. Whether it's a sports tour, a family break, or that bucket list trip, she'll get you there stress-free with all the best deals around. She's local, she's experienced, and she backs the game like we do, and she's a great supporter of Huddy Sports. Look up Louise Reddy at louisereddy.nztravelbrokers.co.nz or email louise@louise.reddy@newzealandtravelbrokers.co.nz. Travel smart and travel like a pro. As here on Huddy Sports, we're always wanting to keep our content free on YouTube. So the idea of sponsors, we can promote you on live stream, our social media pages and our website. It's good to support the local community and helps keep Huddy Sport free for all to watch. So if you're interested to helping Huddy Sports, go to huddysports.co.nz or to our email address, huddysportsnz@gmail.com. Ciao for now.